What kept you going?
It's the belief. It's really, that is the trap breaker, right? And the number one trap breaker is the belief and the faith. Freedom is given to them, but people don't want freedom. And I find them to be a bird in a cage. The fear, the antidote to fear is courage. Give it a try. And if you don't try it, you won't know it. The door is open and fly high, and that's the only way out. And that's how you go way out. If we don't do that, then we ourselves are in a trap, is what I believe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you are allowing yourself to be trapped by the naysayers, but fully recognizing we also need somebody to tell us the blind spot, which I call constructive criticism, which we need to make it better because we cannot know everything. MindTrap.
We're back.
Yes.
In the studio.
I know.
MindTrap.
Exactly.
So what's been going on? The summer's been keeping you busy.
Yes. So are you? It's very hard to get hold of you, Danielle. I sent a couple people to track you down, but finally we did.
Finally.
You are here in the studio.
I am live and local.
Yes.
And you've been kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Promoting the movie. It's number one.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That is very exciting.
Thank you.
How does it feel?
Oh, I didn't even expect. I mean, so it feels amazing. It's unbelievable. I mean, and it talks about the trap. I didn't know that this movie will become number one because people program me, hey, this is not going to make it. Why are you working hard? Go and put them on Tubi. But that was a trap. And I kept going and going. And here we are, like you said, is number one.
That's interesting. So it's like you really believed in it and you pushed through despite all the criticism and then what we call it, the naysayers.
Yes.
And the negative energy around that. What kept you going?
I think I believed in myself. I think it's the belief. It's the belief. It's really, that is the trap breaker, right? And the number one trap breaker is the belief and the faith. And that's what this movie is all about. And then if I don't even have a faith in the movie, then what am I doing?
Yeah.
And then regardless of what the naysayers said, I kept going.
And that's interesting because do you think you would have done that years ago? At what point do you think in your career or your life that you felt like strong enough to stand against others?
I think I've been doing that from a very young age, Danielle. But then what happened was, then I had a couple setbacks. Then I changed that thought process. Then I started giving in. And then now this Trapsody number one stars is making me double down and reinforces to me that what I've been thinking and doing all along was spot on. It's really the naysayers just trying to slow me down. And that was a liberation for myself. I felt like myself getting out of that mind trap.
So I hear too that you discover that your environment is really important.
It is.
Because if you're surrounding yourself with people who are critical, of course we need,
100%.
people to kind of guide us and we respect their opinions. But if we're constantly around those 100%. People who are trying to put our dreams down and put our ideas down.
And I think you made an excellent point. That's where we need to recognize which one is constructive criticism and which one isn't.
That's true.
And then if we don't do that, then we ourselves are in a trap, is what I believe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you are allowing yourself to be trapped by the naysayers, but fully recognizing we also need somebody to tell us the blind spot, which I call constructive criticism, which we need to make it better because we cannot know everything.
There is a difference, now that you say that. There is a difference between someone just saying something with a not being
genuine, authentic to your progress and movement, and maybe there is a jealousy trap involved, right? We don't have to listen to them, and we shouldn't be listening to them.
That is one of my biggest pet peeves, actually. To be around people who are, I want to use the naysayers. Like, to me, in my mind, anything is possible.
It is.
It's just a matter of time.
Yes.
And of course, there are, different things you have to navigate
Yes.
to get there, of course, but that's the constructive. Like, okay, how do we get from this point? This is probably going to be the difficult part.
Yes.
But yeah, but just surrounding yourself with people who want to figure it out with you,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of like have you on that rope,
100%.
right? And so at what point did you just kind of tune them out?
Yeah, I think lately, it's just not, I shouldn't say selective listening. Sometimes I do that.
There we go.
And then-
Honesty.
No, I have to.
Yeah.
Because it's garbage in, garbage out. I just don't want to let it in. So I need to protect my mind. The only way I protect my mind is filter what I let it in.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm surrounded by a lot of noise, but it's my job to detect the signal and not let a lot of noise come in. And so therefore, my mental model is really, how do I take the best, regardless of who that is and where that is, and just only take the best based on my own framework, my own life experience, and put it in. And then I just filter them out, much like drinking a coffee. You just don't drink the whole thing, right? You just take the decoction, if you will, and then you drink. And same thing, you just take the best out of people, best out of the situation, put it into your own model, and keep pushing.
I like that mental model.
You
That's
did.
another one.
Yeah.
I was talking to an executive the other day, and they called me just really upset. The meeting just went, and he was so frustrated that it's just like an old mentality. Like they weren't ready to push the envelope of the new technology, the new concept and ideas. And I see that a lot actually in
It did.
corporate land, where people are stuck in their ways and not willing to try new things.
Oh,
People are
100%.
getting frustrated, and so that's kind of
It
the
is.
same thing,
Same
right?
thing. Yeah, because, what happens, I think that is a classic problem in many companies. And it's also in people, right? Because if you really think about it, technology is accelerating at a rapid pace, right? But all these guys are behind times. It's almost like this, Danielle, right? You take a static picture, something, happened 20 years ago, and put them on a wall. Just because you put them on a wall, the world is not staying static for you. The world has changed. And they continue to believe that is what is happening. So they follow the same structure, follow the same business model, they follow the same technology. You know what I mean? And so yeah, Xerox machine is cool, fax is cool, but the world has moved on from fax machine.
Yeah.
And if somebody's keep on using fax machine, so they got some serious problems. And very soon they'll be out of business. So you're absolutely correct on that. And I see that all the time. And that is also a trap. If you really look at it, it is a trap.
Yeah.
Because in their mind, what they're doing is the right thing to do based on what they knew 20 years ago. And there is a thing called AI. They don't even know what AI is.
Yeah. And then they wonder why the other businesses are outdoing their
Yes.
numbers, right?
Yes.
Because they're just not willing. They're too comfortable.
Exactly.
They're not willing to get uncomfortable.
100%. I think I would call complacency is an enemy to growth. And I see that in companies. I see that in people. I see people who are rich, their generation get complacent.
That is.
And they all go through cycle. In the few cycles from now, they won't even exist.
With this concept of MindTrap in
Yes.
the movie, is you went against, all the criticism of
Yes,
those
yes.
who were comfortable, and you were willing to get uncomfortable,
Like you said, absolutely.
learn something new. This
Yes.
is completely
Yes.
right. And the feedback is amazing. It's really
It is working.
Yeah.
And the people are spoken right, Danielle. There is no other better validation from the masses. The masses don't know who I am.
Now, what do you think it is? Is it because it's relatable?
Yeah, because it's resonating. And it's not only resonating, it's also resonating at the present time. The same story cannot be said 15 years ago. It won't connect. So it's really what I would call is like the right time. And the resonance is there for the people that are looking for that. And it lands and then it connects. And then more people are automatically wanting to watch. So it's not based on advertisement, it's not based on promotion, because I don't have that kind of money like 50 cents and BMF guys to put, promote. But it's the people have spoken, which means the story is landing on its own.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, how will you get number one?
Number one.
Yeah. I mean, this is no joke.
Yeah. The numbers don't lie, right?
Exactly.
And so that kind of leads us into MindTrap in this podcast. And so why did we build this? Why are we here? Why are we talking about mind traps? Why are we talking about personal experiences and different things on how people can get out of the trap?
Yes.
Why did you start Trap City, the whole mind trap concept?
Yeah. So if you really look at it, right, Danielle, so if you really look at Trap City, I would see that as a visual metaphor. Metaphor of what traps are on the screen. But you and I know the real trap is in our mind. So the mind trap is just an extension of the movie itself. And then we try to, since the movie has become number one, the people have spoken, it is connecting. Now we want to give them some practical, let's say, trap breakers, if you will, and then connect with the audience and take them, beyond the movie and turn them into a movement. And most importantly, liberate them from their own mind.
Yeah.
Right.
And just sharing the fact that we're all human.
Exactly.
Right? Coming from all different walks of lives, all different cultures, all different, backgrounds.
100%.
Right? And we're all just human. This is something we all have in common.
100%.
We've all dealt with different things.
100%.
And it's like riding a wave.
100%.
We learn to ride the low parts, the low tide, and then we know that there's going to be the fun part when we're we're surfing, right? But it's again just showing the possibility of how to get out of that and how to ride.
Yeah, I mean, same thing. Just you and I, we talk about it, right? So there is nothing common between you and I, but then everything is so common, and that's what I'm learning doing this MindTrap podcast. Right? When we met for the first time, I said, what is that? There is nothing common with Danielle. Right? She's a blonde, beautiful, standing woman. So there is nothing there. I don't know. And so I just come from a different background. Then when we keep chopping up as we go along, everything is common.
Yeah.
And that's what I found even in the making of Trap City. And then now I find that in the mind trap, it is so common. And so that is why, as you asked the question, when we start going and working with common people, day-to-day people, and go through them, we, like you said, we are all human.
Yeah.
And that's what we wanted to do. And then more importantly, we want to, if we can release somebody from the mental prison, which is more restrictive than the real prison.
And that's so true, because we were talking earlier about the influence that computers and AI and algorithms have on our life, right? I forget the statistic of how often we're on our phone.
Yes.
And it's feeding us all this information. And we've gone into that episode before.
In detail.
With the social media. But it is interesting on how it's conditioning us to feel.
Yes.
Right? Like,
yes.
That is huge. And it's only going to get worse with the data that they have.
100%.
Right? And Siri, I was at my hairdresser's the other day, and we were just having a normal conversation, and then a Siri just chimed in with her opinion. We're just like, whoa, what? That was so weird, right? And you forget that I almost,
You're being listened to. Yes.
And so it's really interesting on how it will pick up even conversations of like, well, us talking about your suit. Now I'm going to see a bunch of hot men on my feed now. I'm not complaining, but right?
Exactly.
So, it's super interesting. And so now that we're taking this, we're also saying, hey, we have to keep that in mind, right? And this whole podcast is trying to get us to take our control back
100%
of our mind.
Yes.
Right? Like,
yes.
There's outside factors trying to keep us trapped.
Yes.
And we're just saying, you are in control.
Yes.
We are in control.
Yes.
And so
that one thought alone is so much of a liberation. And many don't even get there because they've already given the control to the social media.
And it's interesting on how many people are searching for answers, right? And so if now they're using Chat GPT and it's like a counselor.
Yes.
And like, my boyfriend broke up with me, what do I do? And then I'll like feed him all this stuff. And I'm like, wow, where is the human now connection, right? It's really interesting to me.
So what are you feeding to your Chat GPT, Danielle?
What am I feeding?
Uh-huh.
I don't really use it for any.
You're not using that? Okay.
I mean, for business, I do.
Yeah.
Like business, here's my business plan. And I have some really fun stuff coming with that. But I don't ask any personal things. Do you?
No, I don't.
No?
I mean, I build a lot of models, but I don't go and ask personal things.
Like acting as a counselor?
Not as a counselor. I mean, like, I probably have over 250 models I have created. I just try to, put them in there. Like, for example, accounting, I have a model.
Yeah.
Financing, I have a model. I also have a model for the human psychology, based on certain patterns and based on conversation, based on emails and people right here and there. So I can detect a pattern because it's all about pattern matching, right? And so once you get a pattern, you know what you can do with that.
That's true. That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, it's very hard for me to say, what did Joe say in 2024, January, but the same Joe is saying something else in September 2025. I can't remember that. So what I try to do is, load everything, all my emails and everything is now being analyzed. So I have models to,
Really? Wow, this is like advanced.
Very
this is
advanced.
like predicting the future of what someone's going to say.
So then I can say, okay, if this is what Daniel's been saying for the last 2 years, what is he going to say in 2026? I have a model coming up on that.
Interesting. Wow, that's the next episode. What is she going to do?
Exactly.
I might have a twist in the story. Never know.
Yeah.
That is funny.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing to take advantage of the technology. But the way I do it is not like I just go and follow word for word. I just use it as a tool, a diagnostic tool. Then I use my own intelligence and I combine them. Let's say call it, instead of artificial intelligence, let's call it augmented intelligence.
That's a good way to look at it. But so you've had the experience before AI, so you can be like, okay, this is what this says, and I can make my opinion. But what about these kids that are growing up with AI?
I know. I think that is very problematic. In fact, even one of the, I think there was a girl that recently committed suicide. They were able to go back and look at all the psychology model that she was using. And so, so I mean, it has both ways. It's also harmful, but also there is a technology where they can combine these things and maybe hopefully these companies allow the government to know ahead of time that such things are happening. And then based on a certain threshold, when they hit it, wow, they need help. It's almost like a suicide line, right? Yeah. Suicide helpline, hotline. And so we got to even have a hotline for ChatGPT. I think it has to come.
Yeah, I think they are doing something like that with bots, the AI bots and I don't want to say counselors, but it has to be very careful with.
I know it's a fine line between privacy and saving somebody's lives, and so therefore, but I don't think the laws are there in place because itself is new. So,
but now you can ask AI the symptoms and conditions that they're going through, and then AI can give them suggestions here's some therapies, here's places you can go, here's there's options, there's help.
Yes. Much better than what they were doing with Google before. No question about it.
Oh yeah, because this isn't really new. Right? Because you could ask Google different things.
Yeah, but the Google was not able to use it as a model, large language model, LLM, they say. But this was specifically created for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
And the Google was not holding this kind of information, so you got to train and create a separate model. It was giving very generic It was not specific, not to the extent.
This is totally
It's a whole new level. This is exponential.
Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of why we started MindTrap is having a space where people can relate to going through different things. And then I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but Trap City, that whole script, how did that originate? How did that come about?
I mean,
the story and all that, because you're involved in
So the story came about when we were working with earlier team, and so that's how the idea came about, right? So what we were at the time looking at, okay, what is happening in our society right now? And so if you really look at Trap City, it's an encapsulation of all the moments that are happening in our current culture as we stand, right? When I say it's all about, in there is betrayal. And obviously betrayal is happening in this society, betrayal between a boyfriend and a girlfriend, right? Second, glamour. People, go for the glamour. Let's say they go for the stripper and leave a homely housewife at the home, right? And they pay a price. Getting into drugs and make some quick money, right? That is there. And then snitching in the streets are there, whether snitching is the right thing to do or not. Is it outdated or not, right? It brings into conversation.
The loyalty.
It's a loyalty trap. Snitch is really a loyalty test. Is it overrated? Is it past its prime time? We don't know that. Virality, right? Social media, right? And then the rappers and they just, create a viral song. All of a sudden, they are a superstar. That's the fame. That's the current culture. Single parent homes, fatherhood, and second chances. Just because you went to prison before doesn't mean your life ends. Everybody deserves a second chance. It's a redemption story. And so we really look at it. That's really what's happening. I mean, you look at Diddy's trial, Young Thug trial. It costs. So it's relevant, right? So somehow Trap City captured the essence of what's happening in the present time, and that's why it's resonating with the people. And that is why I believe it's going to be there. It's an evergreen. It's a cult classic. Because it captured the culture and its moments at the right time.
Yeah, and it's like no matter who's watching it, we all can relate to
some part of it.
Yeah, like maybe, we were raised in a single family household, and maybe there was maybe we did make a mistake in that redemption, and then we held that guilt, right?
Yes.
So it's
a guilt trap, right?
Guilt trap, yeah.
And then father and son separated due to incarceration, sister and brother separated due to death, gun violence. So it has every element that you can possibly think of, and with a very spiritual message into the movie. And so that's what is in there.
Very relatable.
And
on a personal level, what part of that movie resonates with you personally?
So, although I never lived in those environments as it is portrayed in the movie, Daniel, but what resonates with me is that, being an immigrant, person of Indian origin, being a tech entrepreneur, getting into a film, and getting into urban film, and getting into a trap film, and the people were saying that I shouldn't be doing that, or I don't have the experience to do that. And so that kind of conditioning was placed on me. And then after it became a number one, it's a complete liberation that doesn't matter. I came from such a background, and yet it became number one. What does it tell you? People don't care. People care about the story, the authenticity, the resonance in the given culture.
Now, did people actually say that to you, or is it just something you felt? Or
no, these are all actually said.
Okay. Because that's also a trap where we assume
actually said, no, I did not assume.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't even know this existed because I didn't know it was being existed, right?
Okay.
So how am I supposed to know that? Remember, I
yeah.
don't know that. So there were some, film screenings. I was asked this
Okay.
question.
Mm. And
And I said, wow, I didn't think of that. Wow, but that's what the audience are maybe the critics are thinking of that. Because when they see me, what does this guy has to do with the trap? Does he even know what a trap is? So I felt like that trap that is why it is relatable to me from that point of view.
that's interesting, though, too, because that also is not just to you.
Yes.
It's to a lot of other people where maybe someone going through that doesn't feel like another person would understand.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because maybe they're from this area or from this
this
family or
culture.
this culture.
Yeah.
And it's different, and we were raised different.
Right, different, right? I mean, if you really look at, from let's say, obviously you are in the Metro Detroit area, you are aware of the multicultural society that we are in, so you understand what a person of Indian origin do. But somebody else in a middle of nowhere in Middle America, they don't know that, right? So most of the people generally, think persons of Indian origin is really, IT guys, engineers, doctors, lawyers, motel owners, 7-Eleven, right? But they never assume that a person of Indian origin is going to go into entertainment. That too in America, that too in an urban, that too in a trap is beyond their understanding because it's not part of the making, because it's not normal in their mind.
It's not part of the social
construct.
Yeah.
Well said.
They were kind of taught, right?
Yeah, they were conditioned to think Indians are supposed to do that. Mexicans are supposed to do this. This person's supposed to do that. Boom, boom, boom. When you try to break that, and people say you shouldn't be doing that.
Now,
how do you explain that?
Now that's interesting too, on how we are conditioned. Actually, a lot of the movies portray that even.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
that's what the social construct, as you said, wants. So they're answering to the social construct or social conscience.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to remember, I was saying that I always wanted to go against the grain, right? So that's what I tried to do.
So that's like the mission. That's your purpose in this kind of mission with is to show freedom.
Freedom, exactly.
What does that mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot. It means a lot. It means at a practical level, it means high, right? As I keep saying, every man needs some high. Obviously, I don't do drugs. I don't drink alcohol. Of course, meditation and breathing gives me a lot of high, but this high success and try to beat people in their own backyard, it gives me high. And I think this Trap City is just an example of that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going against what they said you couldn't
Exactly. I couldn't do that. And so actually, as Walt Disney said, it is fun to do the impossible.
I like that. It's fun. And 100% is possible 100% of the time.
Yes.
You just have to believe.
Exactly. It's again goes back to the belief.
Yep.
And belief and faith are one of the most powerful human emotion, and we don't utilize to the extent we should.
So it's interesting to me because your example and your role around the movie is a whole mission in itself. It's like they see your example of doing the impossible.
Yes. Yes.
And so that's something to be very proud of.
Yes. Yes. So I just don't want to leave at the stars, number one. And I want to continue to going back to your previous question. So we want to continue beyond that with our MindTrap and then talk about all these topics, Danielle. And imagine some young kid listening to some snippets of our podcast and we liberate them out of their mental prison. We have done something amazing for life.
So we kind of talked about why we're doing this. And we talked about why Trap City, why MindTrap. We talked about what it is.
Yes.
Right? It's a podcast that goes into detail and giving people different ways to get out of
100%.
The trap. We've already, 8? Where are we in 8 episodes?
Yes,
now?
8. Yeah, we have done.
we're on a roll.
Yes,
right?
and we're gonna keep cranking it up.
Mm-hmm. And then we kind of talked about the movie and how that influenced this whole thing.
Yes.
And you realizing that the importance of this. And for me too, it's why I see the importance is not only with my own personal experience going through different my own mind traps of feeling stuck or feeling inadequate or feeling not enough or not smart enough, right? But just going through the personal experience with my dad and how mental health around men is like needs to be talked about. That awareness really needs to be
That is
there.
also a trap by the society, right? Because the society tells men are supposed to be strong. They're not supposed to show their emotions. But men and women, they are the same. The emotions are the same.
Yeah.
And it's a society. And if you don't allow them to exercise that, if you don't allow them to express that, that's when, it gets into different areas, and that's beyond our understanding.
Yeah, and oftentimes I find that men don't know how to.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so this is nice too because it guides those questions.
100%.
And it guides the thinking process and
Yes.
that there is help.
Yes,
And
there
that
is
there
help.
is a way out of the trap.
Yes. And that, as you said, then men get into different type of, substance abuse and all that as an escapism, right?
That is true.
Right. And so what we are saying is that it starts with your mind. It may sound cliche, but it works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The mind is very powerful. We don't even understand it completely yet. Kind of like space. We don't understand.
No, we
It's
don't.
like this big mystery.
It's like an ocean. We have only understood 5% of our own mind. 95% we don't know that.
Yeah.
And those who understood are already become billionaires.
Yeah. Now that's interesting too, because our mind is like our stomach or our heart. Like it's an organ that we need to make sure it's healthy.
Yes.
And it can get sick.
Yes, it can.
It can get sick. Now, would you say these thoughts, these negative thoughts or these trap-like thoughts, is our mind not well, is sick? Would you call it that?
I wouldn't call that, but unchecked.
I like that.
Unchecked for a prolonged period of time, then it doesn't know what is real and what is not real, and then continues to believe, and that becomes an affirmation by itself.
Yeah, and then could be an action, right?
And then it converts into action. And that is why in our current society, people are hell-bent on certain beliefs that from our construct are not true, but from their construct and perspective, they are so true.
That's interesting. There's a saying, I don't know it yet, but and this could be for positive too. The more you think about something, like the manifestation, the more you really, really think about something, I forget the statistic, it will come true.
It is,
right?
it is.
But that can also be in a negative way too.
It is.
The
Same
more
thing.
we recycle
Same thing.
those thoughts.
The reason, absolutely, Danielle, because the mind doesn't know what is real and what is imaginary. It treats them the same. And if you keep, that is why it's also a hack. That is why you also say the manifestation and affirmation. It's really a filtering system in your brain. We talked about it briefly. It's a reticular activating system in your brain that really makes you focus on that singular element. And then if we need to be successful and we need to get better, if we stay our focus on those positive elements and we filter out, remember I was talking earlier, we filter those things and we don't let them in, and the mind only knows these positive elements, what is it going to do? Daniel has to get rich. Daniel has to, become a billionaire, and that's what is a billion. So it's all the billionaire ideas going to come to you. You're not going to see anything but that.
Yeah.
And you would have noticed, you like to buy a car, white color car, all on a sudden, every white car you would see. It's not like the white cars it's there all along.
Yeah.
Your mind is letting you focus on that moment, on that car, based on what you've been thinking.
That's interesting.
Right? And then sometimes we think about something, all of a sudden they call you. How?
That actually happened to me the other day.
You see?
It was wild. It's just like wild. It's like magic.
Yeah, it is. It is. No, it's to me, I believe in that. The way I look at it is that just because the science have not proven that to exist doesn't mean no one can deny it does not exist.
That is true.
Right?
Yeah.
And look at all the radio waves. Look at, 1940, 50, when there was nothing, people, oh, wow, that sound is coming in this box.
Yeah.
Right? And then TV came, wow, they are putting those signal waves, and then, wow, I can see this image in the TV. And I think same thing, a day will come, I don't know in our lifetime or not, where people would have figured out a technology where they can capture the thought wave coming from us. And some machine captures that and then say, wow, this is what Danielle is doing. And then
This is what she's thinking.
Exactly.
That could be dangerous.
This is what she's thinking in this moment. Okay, capture that.
Oh boy,
Because that's what you just said.
Yeah.
It's a sensing system that we have. We are also a machine.
That's true. I never thought of that.
Much like the bird example we talked about, much like the elephant example we talked about, again and again we talk about. And again, that's what I'm experiencing, Daniel. Like as I travel around the country, meet a lot of people, whether it is Miami, whether it is Atlanta, whether it is Los Angeles, whether it is Detroit, even talking people on a lot of overseas calls. One of the key things that I'm finding in my journey so far is really people are all in their own mental prison. And then freedom is given to them, but people don't want freedom. And I find them to be a bird in a cage, and the feathers are not clipped, and the cage is open, but they feel like the feathers are clipped. I ask the question, who? And then why are you again going back to the cage? I thought I came and released you from the mental prison. Why are you again going? And so the need is very real.
That is interesting. They go back in.
Yeah. Because
comfort.
Exactly. Comfort and complacency. Because to think is hard. They don't want to think hard.
Yeah.
To challenge the status quo is hard. Right?
That's true.
To say that, hey, I'm going to believe in myself, it's easier to believe others.
Yeah. It's just easier. Right?
It's easier to float, to go upstream against the stream.
It's easier to stay in the cage where you're being fed.
Yes.
Than get out and fly and have this whole world you can explore, but you're going to have to work for food.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that is interesting, actually.
That's what I'm finding. That is a common pattern I'm seeing with the people. And even if they want, that is why I conclude you're poor, you want to be trapped there because you believe that is the easiest thing to do and puts you in a comfort zone.
Yeah.
And then, but people who come out of the trap, and even if they struggle, but I think if they take that's how you escape from generational curse, generational issues, by somebody taking the leap of faith. As opposed to saying that, oh, this is how we always been. Who are you to do this? Who says that? Blah, blah, blah. And I think...
and it just takes guts, really.
It is, yeah.
And
courage.
Courage, yeah. And, some people naturally have that, like, self-motivation.
Yes, yeah.
Sometimes it just takes that one person to believe in you.
Yes.
That you can do it.
100%. We talked about it, right? The fear.
Yeah.
The antidote to fear is courage. And it's not like I'm asking you to go to Mount Everest and do all that. It's just a simple courage.
Yeah, I like that. Just have a little courage.
Yeah.
Give
it a try. And if you don't try it, you won't know it.
That's true. That is true.
Then otherwise you'll be, back in the cage. The choice is yours.
Yeah. And so they can't complain about being in the cage if they're not willing.
Yes.
So just walk right out. The door is open.
Yeah, exactly.
The door is open.
The door is open, and fly high, and that's the only way out. And that's how you go way out.
And it's so amazing too when I talk to some people, and it's like, I can't wait to get that phone call when you call me and you're like, wow, I did it. I'm just waiting. It is a time thing. Sometimes people are ready. Sometimes people need to dip their toe in the water and see how cold it is before they jump. Right?
Yes.
But it's so freeing.
Yeah.
when you take control of yourself, your own life, and fly.
Yes,
Really.
yes. So the way I see it, with whatever we discussed, Daniel, is that I see us as sort of like an exert as a coach to the, let's say, to the basketball players, if you will, right? People know how to play their life. We are not going to go and tell them how to play their life, but to play it right. And if they get stuck, if you're not putting some points on the board, they take a timeout, they come to us, and we release them from the trap. Again, okay, go back and do your life, do your thing.
I like that a lot.
And that's what I see based on every trap we talked about, whether it is a fear, whether it is jealousy, societal, glam, addiction. I can keep on naming 20 other traps, but ultimately, that's how we can help them. And when I heard that, it was so much liberating that, oh wow, this part of my journey, I would like to contribute to the society, and if I can lift some amount of people out of the trap, I have done something to my life.
And sometimes,
so all of a sudden, then my life becomes so purposeful at this point of the journey.
I like that, and I'm so grateful to be a part of that and this, and we'll talk about this in more
100%.
detail next
This
week.
and more, yeah. It's MindTrap and
MindTrap
and trap free.